Hey everyone.
Hey guys.
Welcome
to Tuesday night.
That was a good intro.
Yeah.
We're glad you're here. I'm glad that you are joining us once again for Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And you know what tonight is?
Yeah, it's Wacky Snacky night.
Wacky Snacky.
Dude, I'm having some trouble though, because see my hair? See how big that profile is?
It is pretty nice.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of people, I've seen people doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
I'm
with their
wearing
hair.
my hat because of the craziness.
Yeah. I'm seeing videos of people, their moms cutting their hair, brothers, siblings,
Shout out
whatever.
to all those moms.
Yeah. Last week in our quarantine crew, I saw Gabe Swain he's got,
Way to go, Gabe.
man, he's got a mane. I mean, it looks good. I'm not gonna, he was able to put it up in a man bun, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been seeing even lots of things online, like pictures of y'all, but I've also been seeing some memes that are pretty funny about it. But speaking of memes, we've also been doing this thing on Monday where we have Meme Monday.
I love Meme Monday.
Meme Monday. And basically what we've been doing is we put up a blank meme and we've been asking y'all to put words to it to make it funny and for North Shore students.
Cody, I love Meme Monday.
We've gotten some fun things, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been good. We've been keeping them secret, but not for long, right?
Not for long, yeah, because a lot of you have just been DMing us, and so no one has seen those. But next week, we actually, for part of the fun, we're gonna show off some of our favorite memes, and there's some really good ones. We're really proud
very proud
of y'all because they're quality.
Yep.
But,
so it's what you guys need to do. Go to North Shore, our Instagram page, North Shore Students, and find our last meme, screenshot it, make a meme, send it to us. You might get featured if we like it, if you're clever.
If you're funny. But this week is Wacky Snacky, and if you're just now hopping on the stream, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Hey, Cody, I know we got our snacks, but here's the thing. We got a lot of, I love seeing you guys chat up the stream and stuff. You know it's super easy?
What?
To invite someone to this video.
You're right.
Just because we're not meeting here at church, you can still invite your friends. So,
right.
Hey, how'd you go about doing that?
I would pull out my phone right now like this, and I would text a friend and say, hey, join me at live.northshore.church.
Super easy.
And that's it. And they would say, okay, because they're not doing anything better. So do that, text a friend right now and tell them to join you on the stream and then hang out in your life group with you after we're done.
Yep.
It's a win-win all
Easy.
around.
Super easy.
And tell them to bring a Wacky Snacky because watching videos is better with food.
I got my Wacky Snacky.
What is that?
I personally, I just like getting a Costco size thing of cheese and just
Mexican style blend
yeah,
cheese.
and just eating it with a fork.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. If you might have seen already, I like to have my Tirani blueberry syrup. It's healthy, it's a fruit, so I just enjoy just drinking this. I've already almost finished the bottle, but.
Whoa! You call those Wacky Snackies?
Yeah, who are you?
Well, I'm the Snack Bro, and I'm here to guide you on a snacking journey. You want to be Snack Bros?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Do we want to be Snack Bros?
Do you want to be Snack Bros?
So hold up. We want to help kids get their Wacky Snackies?
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Sure.
Just listen to the Snack Bro. You want to get all the tips to make a perfect snack for your quarantine crew night? Listen to the Snack Bro. You ready to go on a journey, guys, and become the best snack bros the world has ever seen? Pickled sausage! What's up? It's me, the Snack Bro. Glad to see my little snackies out there. I got 2 Snack Bro proteges learning some Snack Bro ways. So today we're gonna show you some snacks you can make like the Snack Bro in your own home. Bruce!
Okay, this is a personal favorite. This is a personal favorite. It's the classic PB&J.
Okay.
There's a little spin on it. It's like grilled PB&J. You got some peanut butter. Oh, you can never have too much peanut butter. Apricot preserves, but listen, that's how you know it's fresh. Put the jelly on the other side. Put them together real quick. Is that Snack Bro enough for you?
You're looking pretty snacky, but let's step it up a notch.
Okay. All right, so are you
Check out that sizzle. Snack Bro approved! Undercooked toast is just wet bread. Snack Bro.
Then you do a diagonal cut. Come on.
Crispy snack bro. Bruce, that is pretty delicious looking, and you are well on your way to snack broing. But I want to give us a little example real quick, so if you would move, please. One thing the snack bro needs is music. You guys saw the Quarantine Vibes playlist. We're gonna play a song from there called Hard Times as I get some stuff delicified up in here. So we have a native to the south, a pickled sausage here. Chop it some more. Snack bro. Take our tortilla, you put your pickled sausage on there. You got some bacon pieces right there. Jalapenos. Give that a little stir. Let's look at that. What we're gonna do now is get all these yummy ingredients on this tortilla. Oh, drop some. Can't see with these glasses. Snack bro! Snack bro. We got Snack Bro and Train and Cody P up to the plate. Let's see what he got. Cody,
I got
what's first?
We're gonna start with some.
No! What's first?
The playlist.
Snack Bro!
Alright, so we gotta start with a song. We added a new song to the playlist. It's called I Love My Mom. So hit it. I love my mom.
I love my mom. I love.
Delicious. We get some of this. Just get a little wet. Okay, peanut butter on there to start. I use my hands, just like whatever it takes to get a good even spread. We just want that all up in there. Then I'm gonna take a banana. Always open your bananas this way so that you can get even distribution. Use your hands, just a little mush right there. I also have some bacon. I love bacon. We'll leave that on there like that.
Snack Bro!
But on top of that, I got some of this Jet Puff marshmallow whip, just right there, a little dollop. Some chips that have some salt and pepper, a little crunch, right there. Flip, flip. Good pat, just good pat. Make sure it knows you love it.
Snack Bro. Snack Bro, so we have had an awesome time, and I think it's safe to say that these two dudes are now officially Snack Bros. I think we can combine our powers and make an ultimate snack. I hope this has helped you find some snacks around your house, Snack Bro. But let's get cooking on this last amalgamation.
Oh yeah, listen to that sizzle.
Then we're gonna go with some dollops of puff. Oh, thanks.
Snack Bros help each other.
That's right. Now you're officially a Snack Bro.
Crunch berries. So I think we could just.
And then you gotta throw in. Oh, sorry. Open up your banana, and then oh yeah, put it on there.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
We're just gonna cut this always diagonal. This too.
Triple fried donut.
Wacky Snacky. Snack Bro approved! Well, we hope you got some good ideas for your Snack Bro snacks and had fun watching us make some amazing things that we're gonna eat later. But I think it's safe to say now that all of you are officially Snack Bros! Well, it's great to be back with y'all. I heard that y'all got the awesome experience of meeting and being proteges of the Snack Bro.
We're Snack Bros.
And
we're
you
Snack Bros now.
made this glorious creation. So would you like to try your
Yeah, I would.
beautiful, beautiful. Take that bottom piece.
Let's get.
Scoop it.
Let's get some stuff in here, man.
It's a
There
sandwich.
you go, crunch berries.
Let's see.
Oh, yes.
Is it?
I
Is
like
it?
your style. Here.
Thanks, man.
It's not bad.
I just like the crunch berries the best.
It smells like just nice decorative waffles.
That one's not that great. Just so you all know.
Well, I think it's an amazing wacky snack, and I know that Snack Bro shared some songs with y'all from the Quarantine Vibes playlist, but I wanted to share one with you as well. So there's a song on there called Without Love by Michael Ketterer, and it just talks about how much of a difference it makes when we do things with love and not just going through the motions. So let's check that out right now.
If I could speak every language on earth or in heaven, the way without love.
So that is a great song. Love it, and I hope y'all continue to check out that playlist, Quarantine Vibes. It's going to be in the comments, and it's on our Spotify for North Shore students. So please check those out and listen to them while you're doing your day-to-day stuff. And
It's been good. I've been listening to it. I've really liked it. I'm not gonna lie. I found that new song that I've been telling you about.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
for me.
yeah, that's a
but
good one.
anyways, it's awesome. Check it out.
Hey, what do I do if I'm on Apple Music?
then you get Spotify and throw Apple Music in the trash.
That's for you, Emma. Just a little bit of
Sorry,
helpful
Emma.
tips.
Hey, if you've been with us the last couple weeks, we've been talking about the book of Daniel. So whenever we get together, whether it's here online or together in person, we always like to open up the Bible. We like to talk about Jesus. So we've been doing that every week. We're talking about the book of Daniel. Some of you last week even said you've read the entire book. Some of you said you were halfway through the book. That's awesome. But this week, I actually got together with a friend. Some of you might recognize him or know him. We just had a conversation about Daniel. So check this out.
Hey, everybody. Anyway, I said you were going to have a guest today, and you might recognize him if you were at middle school camp last summer. This is our friend, John. So, John, thank you so much for joining us and taking some time to give us some wisdom. It was awesome. Thanks for being here.
Oh, I can't promise wisdom, but I'm happy to jump into a Zoom call, especially when I can do from my bedroom.
Absolutely.
No
If there's
problem.
if there's one perk of quarantine, it's like you get to jump in, in your PJs, go to church in your PJs or wherever. So,
Okay, it's just pajama bottoms under this. I just put on the shirt.
okay. Well, at least you have pants on. That's one up on me. Just kidding. Hey, well, John, we've been in the book of Daniel and kind of looking at various stories through the book of Daniel. And kind of what I wanted to talk about with you today is the story that everybody knows, and that is Daniel in the lion's den. I feel like if there's one story, it's like, oh yeah, Daniel in the lion's den. He went into the lion's den. Did you have any, when you read the story, what sticks out to you?
Oh man, I mean, it is one of those more classic stories. Like, if it has a VeggieTales episode after it, like, it's one of those classic Bible stories. And so I feel like it is a little easy to just skim over it and think that you know what's going on. But I think what's interesting is this whole situation, Daniel getting thrown in there was really all this big scheme, this big conspiracy, because Daniel was at this time pretty high up in the government. He had the king's trust, and he was in charge of making sure that all 120 of the satraps, or essentially governors, were reporting everything accurately and giving what they can to the government. And he was in charge of making sure all that went according to plan, and he did a good job, and he was honest. And that got him in trouble with some of his colleagues because they weren't honest, and they could get away with giving a little off the top and that kind of stuff. So
It's almost like he got in trouble for doing the right thing.
yeah, he did, and he's doing the right thing. And they realized, gosh, even in chapter 6, verse 5, they realized that they weren't gonna get him on breaking the law. It says right here, then these men said, we shall not find any ground for complaint against this Daniel unless we find it in connection with the law of his God. And so what they're kind of saying is he's not breaking the law, so we're not going to catch him that way. But he obviously prioritizes his God over this kingdom. And so if we can make the kingdom against that, we got him. And then they throw him in the lion's den. And that is the story that everyone is pretty familiar with, is that he's thrown in there. And they don't eat him, which is weird because that's what lions do often, is that they eat people. And so when the king came out the next morning, he was there, and he said very specifically, he's like, it's because I was blameless before God and before you. I did nothing wrong, and I continue to trust in the Lord, and he saved me. And
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the thing that sticks out to me, I look at all these stories in the book of Daniel, and it's Daniel doing what is right. He's standing by his convictions. He's putting God first, and it feels like Daniel's a guy that has things in the right order, the right priorities in the right places. The only way for Daniel to get in trouble was in connection with his God, with his law of hey, can we make it seem like his priorities are out of order when actually they were really in order? So, oh man, that just, sorry. Shoot, are you kidding me? Brooks, amateur hour over here. Turn off your notifications.
A few moments later.
I've got my notifications off now. I'm pretty sure. All right. He's always on the right side where he's honoring God first, and he has his priorities set right. And really in that time in Babylon, he was really kind of going countercultural to what everybody else in Babylon was doing, right?
Yeah. Well, and this had been a theme for Daniel too, because, when they had first been exiled from Judah into Babylon, one of the things that they were asked to do is they were offered this, like, scraps from the king's table, like good food. And a lot of the slaves took it, and Daniel and his compatriots, they said, no, like, that's all meat that's been offered to an idol, and that's really against what God's asked us to do. So we'll just kind of eat these vegetables and water and just do that for a while. And they were allowed to, and they ended up being more focused, better athletes. Like, it just paid off for them. And so he's been gaining status in the empire because of it, his adherence to God's code. And his friends, if you remember from other classic Bible stories, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and their adherence to God's rule over the king's rule is what saved him from the furnace. So Daniel's got this track record of God coming through for him as long as he's being faithful.
Yeah. He's always putting God above whatever else is in front of him, and that's really hard to do, and actually pretty timely for us today. I would imagine.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, no one's necessarily facing any fiery furnaces, but there are certainly things that when we're coming up against a culture that is consistently drifting away from God, that we're going to have to question, how we live our lives, and the way that we live our lives as it starts to look more and more different than the culture that we're in.
So when you say that, what do you mean? Like, when you say we have to look different or live different in the culture that we're in? Explain that a little bit.
Well, I think that it's not necessarily a new thing to realize that being a Christian means that you kind of have to live against society, right? This idea of being countercultural. I think the important distinction is, though, why are you doing it? I think it's one thing to be countercultural just to be countercultural, right? Like the whole rebellious teen spirit thing that I went through for sure with my parents. Like, that's a bandwagon I am ready to get on. Like, yeah, let's go. Especially right now when there's a lot of distrust in authority people above us. It's really easy to be like, yeah, you know what? Let's do our own thing. But that's not necessarily what Daniel's doing, and that's not necessarily what we're called to do as Christians. If we are countercultural, it's because culture has countered itself to God's law. And so it's not necessarily that we're jumping in and living differently for the sake of living differently. It's that at our base, we're living for God. And there are going to be times where culture is going to look different than that. And we're going to have to choose, like, are we going to follow culture, or are we going to stick to what God has asked us to do as those gaps become wider and wider?
Yeah. So it's not just being countercultural just for the sake of being countercultural, or just for the sake of being rebellious. It's actually not as much being countercultural, but being in line with God and what God's law is.
Yeah, that's right. We're not asking everybody to be countercultural just because they can. I think they have to ask themselves, well, why are you being countercultural? Are you doing it just because, or are you doing it for God? Mm-hmm. And that's where it really matters, because I think what's clear in the book of Daniel and what's clear in society now is that God's path is actually pretty consistent. It says the same thing over and over, but culture is constantly changing. I mean, even probably in our lifetimes, we can think of things that society have said are totally okay, that now they're like, no, this isn't okay. You shouldn't do this. And it changes all the time.
Yeah. But God's law and God's book, God's Bible has always been the same. There's always been standards. There's always been a straight line. What does that mean for us today, though, when if I'm a high school student or a middle school student and I'm listening to this and saying, okay, you want me to be in line with God's law? What does that mean for me tomorrow, or what does that mean for me today? How do I live like that now?
Yeah, totally. So how do I be countercultural if I can't leave my house?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting question. It has the same root, I feel like, in this, like, well, why are we being countercultural? Because, for us today and for Daniel back then, his countercultural stance was backed up by a life that he lived that was in line with those principles that he believed. And so for us today, that's square one, is we just have to make our life reflect what God is asking us to do. And the key is whether or not other people see it. Because I think that right now, it's actually not unpopular to be countercultural, because everything in our country is so highly politicized. Everyone wants to argue about different worldviews. But I think that that's where we miss the point. The point really is just in living in line with what God has asked us to do. And that's what Daniel did in the book. He didn't, when the law changed and they're like, oh, now you can't pray to God, he didn't go and hold a rally or argue with people in the street. It says he went to the same room next to the same window, pointed the same way at the same time, and prayed to God, just like he had done every other day, because that's where the value was for him, was living with God.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jesus makes that comment too in Matthew, where he's talking to the Pharisees. He's like, if you're out there standing on the street corner preaching your prayers, that you've got your reward. You got out of that exactly what you put into it. But if you want to live for God, that looks consistent in your life, whether or not people see it.
I love it, man. Thank you so much. So what I'm hearing you say, and I agree wholeheartedly, it's what's going on inside. It is what we are doing day in, day out with our relationship with God, not necessarily doing it so that other people see it, doing it so that we can necessarily be noticed that we are countercultural, or really is your heart in line with God, and is your spirit in line with God? It's something that you do internally. Man, that's so good. So good. Hey, dude, thank you so much for taking just a few minutes and talking with me this morning. And looking forward to hopefully getting done with this quarantine soon, and maybe we can get together and actually see each other face to face, and not over.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. See you.
Bye.
Well, it was awesome to hear from John and Brooks, and so thanks for talking to him. It was cool to hear from him again.
Yeah,
and just the idea that we can look at the story of Daniel and see how he kind of stood up to culture in some different ways so that he could follow God, and how we can still do things like that today. And even though it looks a little bit different, just to follow God above anything else. But now is the time, Mitch, now is the time when we head over.
So you drive to church and you're going to worship on stage, and that's the time we're doing.
No, that's not the time we're doing.
Oh.
What we're actually doing is going to Zoom. So
If this is the first time you've been joining us, if this is your first Tuesday night experience online, there's going to be a Zoom link that drops in the comments. And don't worry, we'll drop it several times because I know you guys are commenting a lot right now.
I got you.
Yeah. So you got to click on that link, copy that link, and head over to Zoom.
Do you think I could post it probably like 25 times?
Dude, I bet you could.
Get ready.
Yeah. And it's, you're going to come into Zoom, and we're going to put you in breakout rooms, and it's going to take a little bit, but
Wait, Mitch,
Yeah?
if Snack Bro were here right now, you know what he would say.
I don't know him personally, so I don't.
Oh, could you guess?
hold up. Could we think we could bring Snack Bro?
Snack Bro, will Snack Bro be at Zoom? What are you doing?
I'm bringing Snack Bro.
I don't think that's how,
And then Snack Bro appears.
I don't think that's how it works, man.
Oh.
I can see about getting him on the Zoom call.
Oh, okay.
Worked last time.
I wonder what happens every time we clap.
I do believe in fairies. I do believe in Snack Bro.
If you close your eyes and clap. Do you think people are still watching, or do you think they've gone to Zoom already?
Hopefully they've gone to Zoom.
Maybe they've gone to Zoom. Maybe they're
I
still
see you.
Are you still here?
I see you, Christian Campos.
We should go to Zoom. Let's go to Zoom together. Ready? 3, 2, 1.